What are you giggling about over there, Rocco? I saw you off camera.
I want to
I
hear
didn't
this
even
knock knock joke.
I didn't even tell you a joke yet. What were you laughing at?
Been
All
waiting
right.
all week for this next knock knock joke.
I
Knock
can't
knock.
wait. Who's
You guys are
there?
gonna make me look so bad. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Diploma.
Diploma who?
Diploma is here to fix the sink. Damn.
That's what I was giggling at.
I see. I see.
It is definitely the night time. It's nighty time. It's nighttime. It's so
I'm
late.
always
It's
good.
late at night. It's late at night. It's
I'm always
nighttime.
good for
I'm
really bad
sleepy.
jokes,
I'm
guys.
Welcome
sleepy.
back to the Night Shifters, baby. What's
Yes,
up?
yes. Welcome back.
How's everybody
Woo.
doing?
I'm good. It's 101 out here. Oh no,
Mm.
103.
Mm. What is it out here, Chris? Out here in where are we at again?
We're Iowa.
Iowa. Oh yeah, yeah.
Iowa.
How it's about like 80 degrees.
80 degrees. I think it's about 65 right now
We're
at night.
not even supposed to say anything about Iowa.
Oh my bad.
Not yet.
Hey,
Not
we're
yet.
not anywhere. We're in our hotel
We'll
rooms.
just cut that. We'll just cut that out for now, or in post. Adam will do it. It's 103 here, but I'm indoors, so it's good. So big news today, guys. It was actually kind of out yesterday, but you know how they love to do things where they say that big news is coming the next day, and then they say what the news is and who's expected to say what at what time. It's really weird. So it's like the news is already out. But Martin Truex Jr. announced his retirement for real.
OG, triple OG.
Yeah.
Aren't
To
that?
road to the
Another one's leaving us.
championship. It's a little weird, right? Well, no, not really, I guess, because he kind of teased the idea. Was it like last year, the year before?
Mm-hmm.
Where
Yeah,
people were
I mean,
just kind of
he's a proven
uncertain.
winner. He's a proven winner. What else he has? You know what I mean? Outside of another championship, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he probably could have had another one in him.
Well, hey, the
Like he's
season's not
not
over,
doing
y'all.
terrible. Yeah,
Y'all, the
and
season's not over, you know, and then
that's
keep in
true.
mind, you know, sometimes when you are in your final year, not only does it motivate the driver or, you know, do you want to go out and finish your best, it motivates the pit crew and the guys working for that team, especially the ones that are enamored with the achievements that he's accomplished and they just like the guy. If I was on his crew, I want to make sure I do everything I could to make sure he ends his career the best way possible. And I say that because I can relate. I remember when Jeff Gordon was in his final year and I was his tire carrier, and I felt like the mistakes that I would make would, you know, were magnified because this is this man's last year. You know, Mark Martin. I retired Mark Martin. You know, I was his tire carrier. I felt like the same thing. This is a 50-year-old man doing the damn thing. You know, it was my responsibility to. You felt pressure to really, really perform because you wanted them to go out the way they deserve. You know, you didn't want them to fall short because of something that you did. So, you
Yeah,
know,
And
I
I was
think
just
now
it's
is
one more
a
also a
looking at
good
it.
time for these guys to take it all in too, right? Knowing that it's the final ride, these final few weeks with their driver, you know, with the crew
Mm-hmm.
as it is, right? So it's a big deal for everybody.
yeah,
Hopefully those guys absorb all these moments, man, and you know, have something to reflect on down the road of the camaraderie they built, the legacy they
Mm-hmm.
built, right? When they open that door for the next guy to take that seat, you know.
yeah. I just was like, whenever I think of retirements, whenever I started watching NASCAR, Jimmy Johnson was in. He didn't announce his retirement yet. This is 2018, but he was struggling, and I think he actually went winless the entire time that I've watched NASCAR. It's kind of sad because I always wanted to see it happen, but it just.
Mm-hmm.
I think he came up a little short at a Bristol race, I think, and then that's when they got disqualified a while ago. I think that was his final year, but it was just like such an emotional thing because it was like they hyped up his retirement, and I was really hoping that he was going to do, you know, I don't know, at least get one victory
Mm-hmm.
that final year. But he was like starting to kind of get phased out, and it was weird to see somebody like Jimmy Johnson go out that way.
Well,
Um,
the good thing is Martin has been finishing in the top, you know, 10, top five. He
yeah,
had
like
some freakish things happen, you know, that are unfortunate,
yeah,
but
getting
he's definitely
tripped.
in contention.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I thought about today. I was like, he's leaving while he's up. And you
True.
kind of said something about
True.
Mark Martin, where you said, he's 50 on his way up, but we don't see that
Mhm.
now. And I think, there was a lot of focus on
It's a different time.
NASCAR, and but I was thinking about how NASCAR was focused on getting the younger drivers in because of
Mhm.
the whole Jeff Gordon effect. But I feel like, a foil to that would be having people like Dale Earnhardt, pushing, what was he, 49? Was he 49 when he
Was it when
passed
he
away?
retired? No, when he passed
He
away.
passed away.
You're talking about
But
senior.
I think, and I think that he probably would have kept racing for a few more years, but you don't see those guys out there turning 50 anymore. So you don't have those, like when you talk about veterans, your veterans are like 43. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of
Yeah.
young still.
Well,
So if
they're phasing
anybody,
out.
like
They're phasing
is-
out. How many? Count the
was it
40-year-olds that are still in there right now. You can do
Denny
it on one hand, I
Hamlin?
think. Yep.
It's Denny Hamlin. Is Kyle Busch in his 40s
Yep.
yet?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it, I think.
You sure?
Right? BJ McLeod.
He gone.
I don't know.
He's part-time.
Yeah.
Michael
So
McDowell?
oh yeah. Well, he's leaving too, right?
No.
Or is he?
No, he
Oh
just
no,
changed
he's
the team.
moving teams.
He
That's right.
just
That's
signed
right.
to
That's right.
Spire.
Yeah, I'm
What
sorry.
about
Yeah,
AJ
that's right.
Allmendinger?
He's also part-time, isn't he? Or did he do
No, he's
full-time this
full-time.
year? Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that's 5.
Wait, how old is he? Hold on. Allgaier. Wait, not
No, Allmendinger.
Allmendinger. I don't know why I said Allgaier. How old is Allmendinger? Matt, Adam.
He's 423.
I would love to see that. It was interesting. My
42.
dad mentioned that he's like, the 90-year-old guy that's still racing. I was like, where are you getting this information from? Because first of all, you don't watch racing. I was like, are you talking about Red Farmer? And he's like, I don't know who that is. I don't know anything. I'm just making it up. I was like, well, you're kind of not. But yeah, you don't see that anymore. And with driving, I guess before the 90s, it's it wasn't uncommon to see older guys taking their careers on for so long, because you can't do this with stick and balls, or what am I? Yeah, stick and ball sports. And the retirement age is when you're starting to push 30.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little weird. Yeah.
Do you think some of this retirement of these guys is due to this new car and the way that it's more aero dependent and engineer driven than motor and driver technicality?
I definitely felt that was part of the reason why Jimmy Johnson was kind of struggling and left. But I don't know that I can say that it really has anything to do with the car for everybody under one big umbrella. It may have something to do with it, but sometimes maybe it's just that time.
Or that. Yeah. Food for thought.
I don't know. That's just how I personally feel about it. What about you, Rocko?
I think it has a little bit of both. I think it also has a bit of, changing of the guard that's necessary. These races are ran differently. These drivers are getting paid differently. The way that they're engaging to their fans is different now. And I'm all about reinventing yourself every 3 years. And, the ones that are doing that, are the ones that are currently driving now. That's probably the ones that we named. Those 5 in their 40s who are still driving right now are fairly good at doing that. Other than that, it's a young man's game, to the point where when the older guys were driving, it was more on talent, where I feel like this is becoming a more, a pay to play, type deal. Where
wasn't this car supposed to put the talent back, or put the power back into the driver's hands? Wasn't that the purpose of this new car?
Yes, it was, to take it out of the car, put it to the driver. But now you have drivers that will do this will bring money to the table, and they will basically fund the whole year, because they have so much backing. They have backing that will come and purchase a charter for you, to make sure that this individual receives a ride, to the point where, drivers in their 40s basically got rides based off of their name and talent, not bringing tons of money to the table. Like they had partnerships.
Well,
that they
Eric
leveraged.
Almirola brought Smithfield in. Wasn't that his
and he leveraged that for a long time. He did.
Yeah, he leveraged it. Yeah. But he also was a diversity guy too that earned it.
Yeah,
right? So he didn't
absolutely.
come in with Smithfield money.
Yeah,
He
you're
defended
right.
himself, right?
He
So
sure didn't.
yeah,
I
And
forgot
now
about
it's
that.
just a different time of day now. I feel, and that's across the board. Just like look what NASCAR is doing as a whole. The way we're creating content. NASCAR Race Hub. It's gone. We
Oh
talked
yeah,
about
I
that.
forgot about that. The last episode, I didn't even put
You,
that.
you see,
That's
everyone
why I
is
learned.
evolving.
I'm a little sad about, but I'm actually terribly sad about it because Race Hub
Yeah,
is one of those shows that,
it is.
when I didn't know anything about NASCAR, like that was the helping hand. Aside from like a few things that you find on YouTube, you really had like NASCAR talent explaining things to you, and
Yep.
kind of debriefing the whole race weekend, before and after. And it was really in depth. And I don't know how I don't know. Like, I'm
They'll
no
come up with
expert.
something. They'll come
That's
up
what
with something
I'm
else.
hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping that they just have the same type of content, but just I guess maybe they're just branding it differently. I don't know.
It'll
We'll
probably
never
look
know.
like what we see on ESPN and stuff like that now. The way content is streamed now across the
Yeah.
day. That was the OG show, Crystal. When did that show start?
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you get
So
what I'm
those were back in
saying?
the days. Yeah, it started with ESPN, or was that Speed? What
Yeah,
channel was it
Speed
on
Speed,
Channel.
initially?
So
Speed
think
Speed.
of
Channel.
that format. Think of that format and everything.
Yeah.
It's just things aren't done that way
Yeah,
anymore.
you're right. Regular television is phasing out. And I know with the 2000, sorry, I'm like looking at the number. So 2025, the broadcasting deal is, that $7.7 billion deal. And they're going to be doing a lot of streaming services. So there's Amazon Prime and I think
Yep.
Bleacher Report
Yep.
is also going to be doing some of their streaming. So I think you're right. It's going to open the door for something else that, it doesn't have to be scheduled every single day or whatever. Like you can actually just go back and stream it instead of watching it and recording it like I do. So I'm going to have to go back and delete a whole lot.
Yeah, Race Hub. Rest in peace,
that?
Race Hub.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be sad.
I gotta find a Race Hub hat or something, T-shirt.
You probably could find it before any of us do. Like you always have the merch. What do you have on now? I can't see the hat.
I
Is
got
that
that
Jeff
new
Gordon hat?
that fresh one just came
That's
out
you?
today. I bought it from the
NASCAR
hospitality out there in Iowa. Just came.
Oh.
He has the stuff waiting for me as soon as it drops.
I do like it.
Yeah.
I just don't like getting hat hair.
You see it, Chris. You see it, Chris.
I see it. I see it.
You
What hat do
see
you
it.
have on? Is that Jordan?
Who, me? No, this is baseballism, man. Shout out to them ballers, to all the parents out there sitting at them fields on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
He's got a future
Ball,
Hall of
baby.
Famer. He's got a
At
future
first, I was
baseball Hall of
gonna say,
Famer in the
Miss
making.
Jordan, you better go ahead and get some tape and cover it up.
Nah,
They're not paying
no
us.
J's. No J's.
No, that's totally fine. All right. So you guys are fresh off of Sonoma. Speaking of Martin Truex Jr., is interesting to see that he also ran out of gas. That's the second driver, second week in a row where the driver runs out of gas. Was he was what, position second?
Yeah, he was. He wasn't going to win the race, but he damn sure was going to get a top 5. And another miscalculation to the point where, it seemed to catch him off guard.
Why is this happening?
Your pit stop is faster than the time allocated to fuel the car up. So basically, when you do 4 tires, you need to have the right amount of time you're waiting after this pit stop is done or the tires are put on to make sure you get enough fuel. And I don't want to say this 100%, but I was out there and I've seen a lot of teams prior to that last pit stop and that pit stop, at the race, just going on tires. I didn't really see them waiting. So it seemed like they were really confident that, that they were going to be fine and okay for a green-white checker and fell short. So that's a miscalculation but
I wonder if the gas man had some issues, some spillage or, because it all comes down to the weight of the cans before and after. And maybe.
So wait, this week we are blaming the fueler or thinking that it
No. I'm just saying, I'm not going to blame him, but
we don't know what's up.
Is that where you start? That's basically where you start with figuring out where the problem is. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that would be the same thing as last week too, right?
Right. You got to wait before and a wait after the stop. Right. Gotcha. But it's just a straight up wait. There's no variable in there for spillage. right? It's black and white. So I don't know what their stop was like. I didn't really, have an opportunity to see it. So,
But hey, you know what I liked about it though? He ran out and limped his way to the finish line. And when I tell you, the crowd cheered louder for him crossing that finish line than when Kyle Larson even won the race. It sounded like,
That's
there was
true. Yeah.
it was really dope to see that, he wheeled his way across the line, and went running out of gas. And I don't even know how he got the car there. I don't know if someone pushed him a little bit or
I know. I was
don't
about
know.
to say, did Lightning McQueen come out?
It crept. I mean, it inched its way like an inchworm. And as soon as he crossed it was like an eruption. And I was like, what's going on? And I looked at the TV. I was like, oh, Martin Truex just crossed, because I was breaking the pit box down. And I was like, damn, that was pretty dope.
I think I would probably be cheering at that, just because it's like, if you think about Blaney, like he ran out of gas and then had to go on down pit road, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're trying to cross that line, like, I don't know, it's just like the little engine that was it? I think I can. Like, you want to root for him.
That could.
There we go. Yeah. You always want to root for them to push, like, just get that little bit across the line and you're good. Just finish the race. All right. Well, I missed Sonoma for a very important reason. I don't know. I've touched on it a little bit. My uncle, it was his 80th birthday, and this is the uncle that actually got me into. Oh, wow. Sorry. I just opened up the chat. So they have like ages of all these drivers. I see where you got 423 from now. By the way, John Forrest is 75. I think he's on his way out, but we'll see. Anyways, it was his 80th birthday. And, as much as I love going to Sonoma, that is one of my favorite tracks, especially because I love the history of racing in California. That is kind of home for me. It's Northern California, but at the same time, like, I don't know, there's just something about that place that's so magical and meaningful to me that it was not a difficult decision to miss the race, but I realized that I was going to be missing one of my favorite races to go celebrate with my uncle. And it was nice to sit with him and talk. And every time I sit down and talk to him about NASCAR, his eyes light up. I gave him a piston from Antron Brown's Top Fuel car. I had him sign it. And so he was like really excited about that. And a few years ago, like, here's the thing. My uncle we say that he's on borrowed time because he had a heart attack. I think it was 2019, 2020. And so I couldn't take him to any more races. I think we went to a total of 2. And of course, he took me to my first one. So I like to bring him, little trinkets and stuff. And I brought him a lug nut from Jimmy Johnson's car once. So he held that like the entire time that he was in the hospital after that heart attack. So it was a good reason to go home. I also got to see, I know. I'm like trying not to cry. I'm getting choked up.
Oh.
Yeah, because that was my racing buddy. No, but he calls. Well, nobody else in my family cares about NASCAR. Like, my family's sick of me talking about it in the car. Like, as soon as they pick me up from the airport, I'm always like, did you know this used to be a racetrack? And they're like, yes, we know, Crystal. You said it 100 times. I'm like, okay, just making sure.
You always need somebody like that in your family. For me, that was grandma. Grandma, she was the one that was watching the race when nobody else was. She would send me a text, talk about Truex, talk about Jeff. She would say, good luck, Dion, when I was pitting. So, you always need somebody like that in the fan band because they motivate everyone else too.
Yeah. Well, like the thing is like I had another uncle that lived in LA when I moved out here. This uncle that I'm talking about that just turned 80 had just moved to Vegas as well. And so really that was like the only family that I had here. Although my family's like 3.5 hours away or a 30-minute flight away, like anytime I needed anything, they were there. And I was never really super close with my family growing up. Like we had a few cousins that, we would spend weekends with and stuff like that. But we would be at like basically huge family events. Like there's a wedding, a funeral, something like that. That's when we all see each other. And then we don't see them until the next one. And so, with him, my other uncle who lived in LA passed away. And that was actually his like racing buddy. Like they would, when they lived apart, they would call each other every Sunday and watch the race on TV together. And so I didn't even know about that until after he passed away. I remember hearing my aunt talk about it, saying, you know, he's a little sad because that was his buddy. I felt awful that he didn't have that person in his life anymore. And I just took him to, you know, the race, and he dropped me off that night, and he was like, that was the best day that I ever had. And I was like, okay, now I've got somebody that enjoys racing. And that's when I fell in love with the sport. And so I'm sorry that I had to miss Sonoma. I heard you guys ran into Adam, our special 30-second or less 3-second guest.
Yeah, I checked on him. I made sure he was okay out there, you know.
Yeah. So if anybody
Rock
watching,
was doing his thing, giving tours, so we couldn't vibe with him. We couldn't chop it up with him, but we reached out.
I had a lot of tours out there, man. It was crazy.
You're always busy, Rocko.
It was crazy.
Oh,
Got a lot out this weekend too.
well, how was Sonoma for you guys, other than running into Adam and doing all these tours?
It wasn't bad. You know, status quo. Normal road course racing.
Yeah. Did you guys get a chance to go to any wineries or vineyards?
Shout out to my IG video. I got a video posting that whole. Well, I did a whole photo dump, you know, and you'll see I went to the wine vineyards. You know, I was in those mountains hiking. I was at the track, Xfinity race, ARCA race. You know, we were out there.
I have to give you credits. No matter what, even though you said you put like a whole photo album, like you are really good at just like posting social media. Like
it's the only way to remember. You don't understand. People think I'm doing it for y'all. I'm doing it for me, just to remember what the hell I did that day, you know, or where I'm at.
Well, and then you got the Ray-Ban sunglasses too. So it's
that makes it easier. And
not only are you just running your own personal page, you got like, so you have your personal page, then you got your Rocko page, and then you got We Are Pit Crew and Diversity Pit Crew, Overdrive Entertainment. Like how it takes me like a month or two before I even put like a regular.
I'm ADHD and I have multiple personalities.
Okay, all right. Well, the multiple personalities. All right.
I'm like that movie. What's the movie with the Mr. Glass? The second one.
Is that the one where he's like Patricia?
Splice. Yeah, I'm like Patricia.
Oh,
I got all those
That's
personalities.
That's a little scary.
Be careful. You don't know who you're talking to right now.
They don't get scared till they get out of control. You know what I mean?
True.
keep it together. Keep it in control. What else are we missing about Sonoma?
Oh, well, you know.
Oh, you know what? We had a pit crew. Who did they highlight this week?
You know, your boys, the hometown winners.
The hometown winners. Okay.
I'll say less. Just roll the video.
Where is it at?
Blaine Anderson, front changer from Charlotte, North Carolina, former Alabama football player. Roll Tide.
Calvin Teague, rear tire changer, 4-time Cup champion, proud dad to Huntley and Nora, and loving husband to Amanda.
RJ Barnett, tire carrier, former defensive back, Stanford University, 4-time Cup Series champion.
Brandon Johnson, Jackman, former Pittsburgh Steeler and Penn State Nittany Lion, 19 Cup Series wins, and 2021 Cup Series champion.
Brandon Harder, Bueller from Oak Harbor, Ohio. Bennett Hendrick for 17 years, 4-time Cup champion, and multiple wins.
Well, there it is.
So I've
been surpassed.
I did not know that Brandon Johnson, was it Johnson? Did I get that right? Brandon Johnson? That's his last name, right? I just saw it. Oh, just making sure. I don't know, because I know somebody named Brandon Jordan, and I was like, I did not get them crossed, did I? But I didn't know that he played for the Steelers, and he used to pit for Bubba when he started the 23, didn't he?
No.
But are you sure? Who was it then?
He's been at Hendrick his whole career. He was there when I came there.
Up with?
A Jordan Page, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe
he pits for Bubba, but Brandon Johnson just passed another important milestone. Did y'all hear how many wins he had?
I heard him quite a bit.
No, there was so much information.
19.
He said he had 19 wins, which means he just surpassed me. I had 18 wins at Hendrick Motorsports as an African American. That's the African American do win in the Cup Series, Premier Series, and at Hendrick Motorsports with 18 wins between Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin. And he just surpassed me with 19 with one driver alone. Can you imagine if that rate keeps on going, how many wins this individual would be a part of in that team?
Be a lot.
A whole lot. And did you not even hear Calvin Teague? Calvin Teague said he's a 4-time Cup Series champion. Your baseball player, by the way, the front changer Calvin Teague, played baseball. 4-time Cup champion. He was a Jimmy Johnson's tire changer. When he went to back to back to back to back, he was the tire changer, on that pit crew. And, a lot of experience.
Then you got the 17-year vet holding them down.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Brandon Harder.
17 years. Geez.
Brandon Harder. When you get 25 years, you get a Rolex, at Hendrick.
Is there any position, or does it have to be pit crew?
No, it's just any position. It's every position.
Service, right?
Are they hiring?
25 years of service.
Do I have 25 years left in my life? I should.
Yeah, you got more than that.
Hey, but did you hear the accolades? So long story short, no surprise why that crew is it's good when they're running top 5 at the end of the races, week in and week off. They've been put in positions, they're battle tested, they've seen it all, they've done it all. And winning championships and finishing races should be light work for them because they've been there, done that already.
Yeah, and I highly suggest that if anybody gets a chance, if you're not you guys, because you guys know what it's like in the pits, but if you are a spectator, if you ever get the chance to go down a pit road while the race is going on and just like watching these pit crews, like I've stood behind pit crews so many times just to watch them do their money stops and celebrate their wins. It's a good feeling. Like, I don't always just sit there and watch the cars. Like, you know me, I walk up and down pit road sometimes, and sometimes I just stare at the crew chiefs and see what they're doing. Like, I love watching Cliff Daniels. It's so weird to me that, it's just, there's a lot going on. And I'm always curious to see like how people are reacting. Like, even when Chase Briscoe won the championship last year, I was standing there watching Tony Stewart because he was just standing there staring at the TV. In awe. Oh, I'm sorry. Cole Custer. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Chase Briscoe.
I know why you said it.
Why? I think you guys are talking about the fact that since Martin Truex Jr. is going to be leaving, there's an open ride, and then there's 4 eligible gentlemen.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
That's
a good point. I was so uncomfortable. I was like, why are you guys staring at me?
Over your head. It is late. It is late at night.
But yeah, I don't know. I actually did. To be honest, my medication is wearing off, so that's why.
4 drivers I know need seats. They need a ride. Maybe that's one of them.
Maybe. And what about a younger guy? Would they put a young guy in there?
You mean from like Xfinity? Or are you talking about just from?
What about Noah? What about Noah Gregson? I'm down with Noah. Why can't he replace Truex?
I think any 4 of them could do it.
Who are the 4?
Josh Berry.
Yep.
Chase Briscoe.
Yep.
Ryan
Preece.
And Gregson.
And Ryan Preece is kind of an OG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's not as young as the other 3. You know what I mean?
How come I don't hear his name coming up in conversations?
Mid-30s. So he's not a spring chicken either.
Yeah.
Why don't you hear Priest?
I don't know. I feel like his name comes up often, or at least like maybe recently, more closer to when he had his wreck. But I don't know.
Maybe the seat will go. Maybe the seat will go to whoever has the biggest bag.
Ooh. We just talked about that earlier, right?
But didn't we talk about that earlier? Where this sport is going as a driver?
He's got money. He's got talent.
Money trumps talent.
Chase Briscoe.
He's got talent though.
And money.
And he got money. He got that Mahindra money. That
big tractor money.
That Mahindra.
Oh yeah.
He's plugged in. He's doing commercials with Tony Stewart.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
Good commercials.
Yeah.
I giggled a little bit. I giggled.
I feel like you only.
It don't take much.
You only I noticed you were giggling at nothing at the start. I don't know. Have we already talked about like in the past?
It was very doughboy.
Talked about. No, I thought that was Austin Hill. The Doughboy?
Ooh.
No, that's his like the little pit. No,
Shots
no,
fired.
no, that's not what I meant. They have what do you call the little thing, the little pit number thing that you guys poke out so that the driver
pit
can
sign.
see.
Pit sign.
Yes, I thought there was like a more complex title for that. But yeah, like they had the Doughboy for it. I don't know if they still do, but I know that he lost some weight over the last couple of years. But that is his little pit sign, the Pillsbury Doughboy. So whenever I
didn't
hear
know that.
that's what I think. You're there every single week. You haven't missed a race. How do you miss that?
I pay attention to what I pay attention to.
Like I know I've seen Speedy Gonzalez on the 99 before.
Yeah.
Daniel
Obviously,
Suarez has
Melon.
a taco.
Yeah.
He has a taco.
Oh, he has a taco now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ross Chastain has his little melon man.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are just the numbers, though.
Oh,
there you go. I knew I wasn't crazy.
Oh,
I knew I didn't make that up.
There you go, Adam. Adam, you the man. You be finding that stuff,
right.
boy.
He got his 3
Quick,
seconds
too.
of fame today. You can always come back.
But
But yes, that's who I was thinking of. There's nobody else in the Cup Series, as far as we know, that would be a free agent at the end of the season. What are you laughing at now?
Got him.
What? Somebody said I wasn't working hard enough. Who said that?
Nothing. Let's move on.
Did something else go over my head?
Yep.
What?
Yep. It's late.
Somebody explain. What did I do? You're gonna have to tell
Nothing.
me what I
Didn't
did.
do anything.
It wasn't
No.
you. We
No,
were talking
'cause-
about Alan offline. Let's move on, Crystal.
Adam offline.
I don't see anything. I didn't say that he wasn't working hard enough. I never said that. Oh, somebody had a really big beer before the show. That's why he's laughing.
Woo,
think
this
that's
ain't a
what-
beer. Does this look like a beer to you?
I saw what you had before the show. You
This is
probably
a
put beer in the can.
revive and
Hey, wait,
recover.
question. So I've always wondered this. You see drivers. I've had
Mhm.
this question since I watched Supercross back in the day.
It's water.
And it was okay, that's what I thought. In the can, it's water. Or
Yeah.
like Monster.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't remember if anybody clarified that for me in the past, but it's always stuck with me. I'm like, is it really water? All right. Now that I know. Moving on. Where were we? So we're still talking about Sonoma. SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen.
Killed them.
We
Killed
get
them.
back-
SVGeezy.
Back to back.
He took
How
him to school 2
embarrassing.
weeks in a row.
I'm about to get an
Wow.
SVG shirt, yo. I'm about to get an SVG
Do they
shirt.
have them?
Well, I'm gonna look. I'm gonna get a shirt and hat, and I wear it on the next show. I'm
Right.
feeling him. I'm
He
really
And his
feeling
thing
him.
is
Big
the
time,
rugby.
man.
He kicks the rugby ball. I want to catch
I
one.
really
but
like that too.
Yeah, I like this whole trend where they're starting to do all this stuff because the last thing was
It's not
basically
really a.
like,
Well,
well,
you know that's a
it's
track house thing. You
everybody's-
know that's a track house thing.
yeah, and everybody's had their signature thing. Like Kyle Busch does his little
Yeah,
bow.
Yeah, you're right.
Carl Edwards did his backflip, but I don't think you've actually seen anything that big in a while. Like Carl Edwards doing the backflip is a really cool thing.
Track house, Crystal.
I
Look what
know,
Ross
I know.
Chastain.
It's
He busts the
entertaining.
watermelon.
I know that is
Suarez busts the taco, and
You know how
now
many-
SVG kicks the rugby ball.
rugby.
Yeah, their
And
drivers do
you know
that.
what was really interesting is like it was not even a week before he got that win 3 weeks ago now. They
Mhm.
had like one of their little social media things where they were asking him what his celebration would be whenever he got a chance to win.
and he got to
And
do
literally
it.
but that also happened when Daniel Suarez won. Before he won Sonoma, I think it was only a matter of weeks before that race
I
that
didn't
they
know that.
discussed what he would do, and he said that he would probably bash the pinata. And there you go.
All right.
Maybe all these drivers should start saying what they're going to do, and maybe they'll win the following week.
So, Crystal,
Yeah.
he made that pinata before he came to the racetrack, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that he made it, or are you telling me that he actually made it?
No, what I'm saying is, so he put some effort into, I'm going to win this race. And when I do, I'm going to bust this pinata.
He manifested it.
Yes,
God,
he did.
I hate using that word just because it was so trendy. Manifested.
When we win this
Spiritual.
race, we going to bust this pinata. When I
But
I
win
think
this
that
race,
works. It's
I'm going to kick this
motivation.
football.
Let's see. Adam said, SVG said after the race that when he signed with Trackhouse, they told him he had to come up with a celebration.
There
See,
you go.
told you, Trackhouse made it deliberate. You know, I
Creating
like
the
that.
culture. Creating the culture.
What
like
would you
that.
guys? What I mean, you guys are like you're not drivers, so I nobody would like expect it. But if you were a driver and you had to choose your celebration, what would it be? What would you do?
Mine would be the WAP. I'll take it back to like.
I had an celebration, first of all. Thank you very much. I don't know
Oh,
what you're
excuse
talking
me.
about.
I
And
don't
I've
know. I've
seen
never seen it.
us pit crew guys. We have celebrations
Don't
too.
start the whole water and champagne and throwing your
Okay.
drink. That does that. I'm
You
trying to
know,
think
I
individually
take
for
offense
yourself.
to that. No, I
I
ain't getting you off
apologize.
the hook.
Like,
I
did
take
you
offense to that.
throw a tire into the air? Like what would be your signature? Not pit crew in general, not all the guys, just you. What would you do if you were the driver and you did your little burnout? You came out right before your interview. What are you gonna do?
Let's see. I would probably do a fence climb or something like that. I really like that
Oh yeah,
because it makes for a good picture.
yeah. I feel like
It
that
makes
would
for
have
a
been
good post race picture,
because he's
and I can't do a
SHR over there.
backflip.
You'd always try.
Tony Stewart made fence climb. Tony Stewart made fence and climbing look really, really good because he was the first person I saw do that, and he was a bit heavier at the time. And I was like, if Tony Stewart can do that, I know I can get up there.
I have watched Tony Stewart hop over the wall last year, and I had to ask him about that. I don't know. It's really funny when you just see people that like aren't doing like athletics like that, just boop, right over. I don't know. Anyways, Chris, what would yours be?
I don't know. Mine would probably be like the kid in.
Oh no, you said the WAP.
See, Chris can dance.
I would either ghost ride the whip, or the videos that have come out lately.
There's right into the pace car. That thing would be all over the racetrack.
I could do that, or just let it go into one of the track cleaners, like Juan Pablo.
I will say,
I was thinking I would do, like Miami. I don't know if it's Miami, but Florida, they have those girls that are going out on the sunroofs and on the hood of the car twerking. I would do that.
Oh God!
Except I'd look like Tina from Bob's Burgers.
Maybe I would sign the camera.
Baby in the car and all.
I would keep it sharp. I would keep it. Yeah, I would keep a Sharpie in a car or a dry erase marker, and I would sign the camera after every win, after my victory speech.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's a cool one too.
Oh my God! We need to find like the gif of her like dancing or trying to twerk. That would be me.
Oh gosh!
On the hood of the car.
Pray for her.
Oh,
that's the reason why I'm not a driver.
Late nights right here. The conversation.
Yeah.
We're veering. We're digressing. Get us back on page. We're talking about twerking. It's late night when we get twerking involved. Oh gosh, there you go. Look at that. Perfect.
Definitely, that's the one. Yeah. That's
look at that pancake. Hey, don't shake that pancake.
You saw that? Don't shake that pancake for everybody else.
Don't shake that pancake.
Oh my God. Well,
focus. Let's focus.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. To finish off Sonoma, I live in Vegas, so I really appreciate the fact that we are tearing down the legendary Tropicana Hotel, one of the last of the hotels on the Strip that were, alive and well during the mafia days, which I still think Vegas is run by the mob, but whatever.
The mob? What's the mob?
Yeah, the mafia, the Italian mafia.
Is that still around?
I'm sure. I don't know. There used to be this, I don't know if it's a myth, but a little bit of a story. There's a couple of, strip clubs. Well, we're late night. I can do it. There's like strip clubs on Industrial. And
strip clubs.
Apparently the rumor was that, the mafia would, or at least like there'd be some kind of backwards operation where people would disappear and their money would, their cards would be charged to an excess and they'd be dumped by the railroad tracks. And, I started to believe some of that when they started having all those bodies show up in Lake Mead.
Oh, yeah.
When you guys remember that a couple years ago? And all these bodies were coming up in barrels and stuff. So I don't know. Oh, he met with the mafia. I don't think the mafia is going to come after me. I'm making speculations here.
All those bodies.
But anyways, I don't know. But they were offering like rewards if you found any body parts.
Really?
Yeah. So that they can identify these missing people.
Wow.
But, just for protections, we're not saying the mafia did any of that. We're not even saying that the mafia exists. Never heard of them. Anyways, I know absolutely nothing about them. But yeah, we're getting the Oakland A's. I don't know if you guys watch baseball as much as I do. Well, they're tearing down the Tropicana to build the stadium there. So as far as I know.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you guys
right
know
in the middle of it all,
is right across from the MGM, across from Excalibur, New York, New York. It's on that little intersection.
That's crazy. That's crazy how they're going to fit all that in there. Where are they going to park? Underground?
We'll figure it out. For Raiders Stadium, for the Raiders, they have these open lots. But I feel like most people come in.
Hey, but if you think about it, the footprint of the Tropicana is pretty darn big if you look at the aerial view. So baseball
and there's
stadium
also
is
like an open area behind it too. So there's a lot of space there. And I don't know if you guys have seen the renderings, but it actually looks pretty nice. And they're not even supposed to be here until 2027. But it feels like it's a guaranteed thing.
Las Vegas,
but it's just strange because it's the Athletics. So their owner has been kind of weird in Oakland, and I don't know. We're kind of just taking away Oakland's sports.
Moneyball.
Yeah. So somebody got to throw the first pitch at the Oakland A's game. I always say they're the best AAA team in the MLB.
Man, you see that
this
ball
whole time I was like,
there? He might be a little baseball player.
And he a lefty, Ty, lefty boy.
For a minute, I was like, are they going to show like the end of the throw? Because I was like, if it was bad, they probably might not. But okay, all right.
Man, Ty doing the damn thing. He living his best life. That little young man right there is a beast.
I can't have him play baseball. You guys know how I feel about baseball players. He's too young. All right. So speaking of baseball. I'm going to play a clip and then you guys tell me where we're at this week.
That's what I like about it. If you build it, he will come.
Classic.
Iowa, baby.
If you don't know what movie that is, you're too young.
Feel the dreams, man. Hey, that movie was low key scary, yo. You know that they were ghosts. They were ghosts now.
Yeah,
they're staring at ghosts in the backyard. They were good ghosts, but they were ghosts. You know the way my mind think. I'm like, if they're the good ghosts on this side of the field, what's on the other side of the cornfield?
Oh man,
could it be like the ratchet ghosts? Yeah, children of the corn.
Why didn't they use that? They should have used that. That would have been a little weird. But everybody's getting on, like major sports is getting on this little Field of Dreams gravy train here because the MLB has their game on the field. Like they built the field, or they play a game like I don't know what to call it. It's not really an exhibit. Do you want to call it that though? Because they still get it's like a regular game though between the two. It's just in a different place, right?
So it still counts win losses.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess you could still see it as some kind of exhibition still though, because it's not in anybody's like home stadium. Interesting.
Neutral site, historic.
Yeah. But I always have a difficulty pronouncing this, but sarcasm. I can't get that right, but he's always posting memes, and they actually did a little rendition of Field of Dreams. I thought was pretty cool this week.
Buggity, buggity, buggity! Let's go racing, boys! Buggity, buggity, buggity! Let's go racing, boys!
I would be out of that field so quickly if I heard DW yelling that at me out of nowhere.
Hey, Annie! Annie, what was that?
What was what?
That voice just now. What was it?
We didn't hear anything.
All right.
Buggity, buggity, buggity! Buggity, buggity, buggity! Buggity, buggity, buggity! Buggity, buggity, buggity! Buggity, buggity, buggity!
Okay, you must have heard that.
Sorry. Hey, come on into dinner.
You know what would have made that so much better? Instead of doing the boogity 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 over and over again, do the boogity boogity boogity. But I can't even do it. It's like a tongue twister. But everybody's like, "Let's go racing, boys!" And Danica. You guys know he used to do that.
So the racetrack is about 2.5 hours to the damn Field of Dreams movie site.
Why do they always do that? That's like, this is like Fontana in LA. It's so far away. That's just because there's nothing else going on in Iowa.
The track is
I know.
literally in a cornfield. When you come out here, first of all,
in a cornfield in the Midwest.
let's give you some context here.
No,
okay?
I don't need the context. I know everything in the Midwest is surrounded by corn. That's all it
Wait,
is.
but look at this. No, that's not what I'm going to tell you. We are 30 minutes. We are 30 minutes from the Speedway in Des Moines, downtown Des Moines, correct?
Yep.
Okay. It feels like it takes an hour. I swear, you can be going 80 miles an hour on the highway, no traffic, the only one, and you are only going 2 miles every 5 minutes. It's like we're in a time warp here and we're running backwards. It's like we're driving on a treadmill when you get into the racetrack. It's just straight and corn everywhere.
Yeah.
And you drive for 30 minutes and you're like, okay, I know we're here. We're almost here. You look down, you got 15 more minutes to go. But we just saw that.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Am I lying?
Big John Deere's everywhere. I mean,
that doesn't surprise me. Big. Wait, no Mahindra?
No Mahindra. I haven't seen one yet.
I've seen the biggest tractor in my life pulling at the racetrack.
Oh, yeah, pulling the trolley thing?
Yeah, the one bigger one than that by Victory Lane. It has the big triangle wheels on it. Yeah, the big triangle tank tracks.
Yeah. That thing was huge.
Don't they bring some of those to the tracks, like, anyways, for people to, like, I don't know, like in the little fan experience, they have some, I don't know, they bring out.
I'd love to get in that thing and just drive around in the open lot, big kid play.
You can do that out here.
Yeah.
So when you come to Vegas, you get to do all that. It looks like this dirt thing where you can get on not cranes, but all the different
bulldozers, excavators.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, and you just
move the dirt around.
That'd be good.
Pay to go do that, but there's all this
therapeutic.
The thing is, there's all this construction here. Our state bird is a traffic cone. Like there's F1, you guys were here last fall. You know how bad that traffic was. They were tearing up everything, but that's how it's always been out here. There's even in front of my house, the whole road since I've moved here has been blocked off by traffic cones because they're working on the road. Who knows what they're doing half the time? But I mean, you might as well go get paid to do it. Don't pay to go and do it for 30 minutes. That's ridiculous. They're robbing you. Just saying.
All right.
But you can do it. Go do it and let me know how it is.
Yeah, soapbox. You sound like me on a soapbox.
Oh, sorry. I've been around you too much. So we are at Iowa Speedway. This is the first time, right? for the Cup
Yes,
Series.
for cup cars.
But somebody in the
Truck.
chat has a win here, right? For trucks.
Ooh, 2017.
Is it story time with Rocko?
Well, I will say
I
it
wish
is
we had like a
because
little song before this, like some kind of little jingle.
Story
And
time
then
with
like,
Rocko.
yeah, like with like a little cartoon rendition of your face in the middle. But go
Okay,
ahead.
the year was 2017. The truck was the number 8, unsponsored, built and driven by John Hunter Nemechek. The owner was his father, Nimco Motorsports. You know, they were about a 4 or 5 man operation, and to be able to compete the way they did in that truck and to whoop ass the way they did, you know, it was very impressive. Not to mention the pit crew, including myself, consisted of a bunch of guys. Jake Brzezowski, I believe, and Jamie Frady was a part of that win. And these are guys. The whole pit crew was OG guys. You know, towards their retirement years, they were independent, competing against other guys, trying to make their name for themselves in the sport. And we used our experience to pretty much maintain position on the race and keep him in position to win. And John Hunter Nemechek did an awesome job doing that. And it was pretty cool to get to victory lane in Iowa. I have my flag and my KC General Store trophies, and it's pretty cool. So coming back here on the Cup Series, the main thing I want to see is how they handle the magnitude or the amount of volume of people that are coming for this weekend. You know, when we won in the trucks, you know, they have their following, but you know, the Cup Series really packs a crowd. And I saw that today. It's Friday now, and at the track Friday, we have qualifying tomorrow. I mean, you know, Chris can tell you it was slam packed, and the people were coming in, you know, out there from the cornfields. I don't know where they were coming from, but I'm
Children
really
of the corn.
it was they were everywhere. It was deep out there, yo.
Sunday, I think Sunday traffic's gonna be a monster, bro.
I'm gonna go an hour earlier than I planned to go, just because it's one way in, one way out, Crystal.
One way in, one way out.
And it gives me a lot of Kentucky Sparta vibes, you know, Sparta, Kentucky
Yes,
at that race. When I mean, some fans and even drivers almost didn't make it to the race, or they didn't get in until halfway of the race because the traffic was so bad. I remember that race. I drove damn near 20 miles on the rumble strips just to get to the airport after that race. You know, it was ridiculous. So
the whole way.
That was the only thing that makes me nervous. But, you know, I feel like I'm going to plan today and tomorrow for Sunday with where I park. You know, I'm going to pay attention to, you know, where all the heavy traffic spots are, because they ain't going to get me, put it that way, when I'm trying to leave this track. You know, I'm going to get up out of here.
What are the campgrounds like? Have you guys seen them?
I drove around in a golf cart and looked around. You know, it's very expansive, you know, but the fan experience is kind of situated right outside of the front gate. And then you could get on a shuttle, and that will take you inside. And there's a little activation inside as well. But a lot of the souvenir haulers are on the outside. And let me think of the inside. What's on the inside of the infield? It's not much. It's not much, because they had the ARCA series racing tonight. So their haulers were in there. Nationwide series were in there, and the Cup haulers were in there. And this is a short track. So you're fitting, it's a smaller infield than where you were having a 1.5-mile track or 2-mile track. So the space is not as big. It does have a tunnel, which is good for a short track.
Valuable question, because if something happens, we don't want another brawl.
Put it this way, they put it on the wall. The moniker on their wall is the fastest short track on the planet.
What are the average speeds?
You know, I'm not sure from the top of my head, but you know, that's their claim to fame. You know, a short track that races really, really fast, and with the repave now on just in the corners and in the asphalt on the straightaways, or however, they either have concrete in the corners and asphalt on the straightaways, or vice versa, to the point where they had a practice session today. They extended to 50 minutes to allow the drivers to utilize the multiple grooves at that track, and which is why everyone is so excited about going here. It's because you can run the top, you can run the middle, you can run the bottom at the same time. So there's multiple ways to pass. Now, whether drivers utilize that well, there was a lot of tire cording.
I was going to say, yeah.
Blowing.
So how do you
what
prepare
that means?
for? Hold on, I have a question. You might be able to answer this with what you're about to say, but with what we saw today, was it 5 different drivers, or am I making this up? How many drivers was it? How many cars?
It was about 5.
Ended
It
up,
was about 5 that crashed today or had tire problems.
Tire problems. So is that something that'll be fixed over the weekend, or is that something that we're just going to have to expect come Sunday? Do we know?
Well, it might be some fixing as far as some setups, right? So you could have some camber issues or low air pressure that those crew chiefs and race engineers will have to adjust for. Everybody's watching those tires right now, right? So obviously Goodyear can't bring in a new tire, right? So the tire is what it is. So those good crew chiefs and race engineers are going to adjust on their end to compensate for that tire issue.
The race was won today.
Yeah. Whoever
the race was won today with those tires. You know, this has very Bristol earlier this year short track vibes when that tire was an issue and they weren't prepared for it. And, you know, they really had to, the veteran drivers who could manage tire degradations were the one that shined. That's what this race is seeming like it's going to be today. You know, but at the same time, I don't take a lot of stock in those blown tires. This was a practice session. And what are you doing in a practice session? Okay,
Practicing.
you're not bringing the setup that you know works.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to try something a little extreme, and when you do that, what might happen? You're going to blow a tire because that's how you know you've pushed it too far. You back it off, and you're like, okay, now we know the limit.
So now you know your limits.
So don't look at it as a negative that the teams that had issues, you know, are bad or the setup was wrong. Maybe those teams that had issues were the one that was really pushing the envelope and really trying to dial it in. And don't be surprised to see some of those same cars that had those issues, you know, really dominate or do well, you know, up front. You got to pay attention to the 10-lap average too. So, you know.
Yeah, that 10-lap average is big. Yeah, also, these guys got faster as they ran.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So some of the fastest lap came on lap 15, 16, 17.
That's a good point, Chris. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So they wasn't fast right out the gate. Like as these tires wore and as the track got more rubber, these cars got faster. That happened
as it got rubbered in. Absolutely. That rubber in. And that's where those drivers who can feel that, you know, are going to take advantage of that, which is why I'm saying very Bristol early in the year like vibes. That race up there, you know, maybe not to the extreme.
Who won
But
Bristol?
OG driver. It was a vet. Denny Hamlin, right? Yeah. Hamlin.
Dennis.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin. Okay. Well, he had an unfortunate weekend at Sonoma.
Yeah, he blew up on like lap 2, lap 3.
Yeah, he was done early. Big smoke.
They're trending, you know, the NASCAR season is full of peaks and valleys. I was talking to one of my athletes about that, you know, earlier in the weekend. What you want to do is make sure your valleys aren't too low and your highs aren't too high. And when you do have your highs, they need to be at the freaking end of the year. And when you figure out where that high needs to be, you better plateau and steady eddy it. Because when you go down to them valleys, you know, sheesh, you know, it's hard to dig yourself out of those 2-3 race, you know, just bad luck type stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it kills your energy, kills your vibe. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's tough to deal with that. This is a long season. We have race, Chris.
Yeah,
we have
but
race
we're in
damn
the middle
17.
now. Yeah, but
That's what
we're
I'm saying.
right in the middle. So now I'm excited because it gets a little more exciting. Redundant, but it gets a little more exciting now because it feels like it's a little more competitive because you're starting to get close. You want those playoff spots. I think people start paying closer attention to the playoffs. Like at this point, you know, if somebody wins, they're in. But now you're starting to watch the rest of, you know, the races and see where drivers are finishing, even if
like
it's
the 48.
Yeah, and you're starting to watch them like
people
stages.
Racing for stage points too, right?
Hot seat, strategy. They're pushing the envelope now. You know, it's getting down to crunch time.
Yeah.
You're right, Crystal.
I kind of like that slow burn into it because you can have fun watching it at the beginning of the season, and then right around now, it starts to heat up. Not only that, like literally heat up. It's getting hotter and hotter in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, it's warm out there now. Summertime.
It's 103 out here. So
you live in the desert, Crystal. Come on.
It's that dry heat. Yeah, I get it. I know. It's awful.
It's a dry heat out here, it feels like.
Yeah. So let's see. So if this is the first time the cup is there, I imagine maybe Joey Logano might come out on top. Because
you know how he do. You know how he does at the new races.
Yeah. But you never know.
First win for Floyd Gregson right here.
That would be interesting to see. He did.
I got to see Belzy. Two-time winner there.
Noah Gregson was the fastest in practice today. Under
Yeah, that's
37.
true. Hey, I like Noah too now, but I
Right.
gotta go for
Have to
C
send that.
Belsey.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys brought up those points though, because I think sometimes people, tend not to look towards strategy and stuff like this. I don't know why, but I don't know. They don't take those things into consideration. And I think that's a good reason to start watching practices and qualifying too, if you can.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember those cars that with wins already can take big risk, right? Because they're already locked into the playoffs, so they can try things and see what works as a company, right? So if you're locked in, you can be the guinea pig for your company.
Yeah.
And try different things over a weekend to make the rest of your squad better.
You know who I keep forgetting is already in the playoffs?
Have to play the strategy.
I keep forgetting that Daniel Suarez is already in the playoffs. He won Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And that was early in the year. That's why you forget
got
him,
it
because
right.
what have you done for me lately?
What was that, like was that the third race of the season?
I'm pulling for Daniel, man. I want him to have a breakthrough as well.
Yeah, because I think, isn't he in like the final year of this contract? Is he going to be?
Yeah, I think he's good though.
Yeah, I have a feeling
he's good. You might hear something coming out of that, with them and
like renewing. Because I think he only ended up getting like 1 or 2 years, right? Initially.
Yeah, but he got big money.
That's weird. I know. I just felt like that was such a weird contract to have.
Remember what we talked about on how do you keep your rides here? What you bring to the table?
He can write big checks.
He bring in a lot of tacos.
He's also got some F1 money swirling around him too.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. Well, we're getting close to the end here.
Already? Dang, we were rolling. It felt like we were in Iowa. It's just zooming by in Iowa.
You didn't feel like you were driving through the cornfield all the way to the end of the episode?
Yes, I did.
As soon as you get on the highways, cornfields.
Gosh.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I haven't been to Iowa. I've been to Nebraska. Gosh, is that depressing? So to fly into Nebraska, where I was going, it was Kearney, Nebraska. So I think it's about like 2 hours away from what's the big city in Nebraska that I'm thinking of? What's their like main city?
Omaha.
Thank you, Omaha. I should know that.
Omaha Steaks.
Yeah. Yeah. So you had to fly there and then drive 2 or 3 hours into Kearney, Nebraska, because there's no airport over there. That's so weird to me.
Wow.
You have to remember, I fly to LAX all the time, Vegas. All the airports I go to are in the cities that that I'm flying to.
Spoiled.
If Suarez, did y'all know?
I don't go to Middle America. There's nothing but corn there. So, like, I remember staying in the hotel and I walked outside. I looked to my right, corn. I looked to my left, corn. And then there's like this weird like dragon bridge in the middle of it all. Don't know why.
There's a lot of bridges out here. There's a lot of bridges downtown Des Moines. I have 3 of them right here. And there's one.
Des Moines?
It's beautiful. Actually, I gotta say, it's clean. A lot of restaurants, bars. You saw that restaurant I was at. I told y'all with the big cup earlier, and there was this. It was really cool. They had this bridge that trains go over. A bridge just for the train to get over the river, and that was pretty dope.
Like very Stand By Me.
Yes.
Hulk, another classic. Look at you.
Well, look at you.
I see. Look, I'm not that old, but I watched a lot of older movies. That's a classic. That's like when you go through school, you read like the classic American literature. That's on the list.
I gotta have my kids look at that one and read that one. Got to.
Yeah.
Well, and then you have to have them watch Boys in the Hood right after.
I've already done that.
Back to back though.
Yeah, you're right.
Similar storyline, just 2 different cultures. I didn't even think about that until I was an adult and I rewatched Boys in the Hood. I was like, wait a minute, it's the same, but not exactly. You want to see a dead body? Follow me to
I've
Lake
used
Mead.
that line so much.
I can redo it out here. Talk about Lake Mead. You guys want to see a body, a dead body?
Yeah, they were showing up everywhere.
Poke it with a stick. Ugh, ugh. Anyways, it's not even time for Halloween yet. Let's finish off with the meme of the week.
Ooh, let's see it. It better be good.
I've been waiting.
All right. How to run turn 11 at Sonoma. Oh, poor Josh Berry. Who was it that was like veering off like right before that? There was somebody else.
That hurt.
Yeah. He's so talented though. Oh gosh. This poor that truck and those yellow shorts. That should be a Halloween costume for somebody. I can pull it off. Be Ricky Stenhouse.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Yeah. Lap 2 at Sonoma. You know, that actually came. I feel like the majority of the memes that I sent to Adam are straight from Denny Hamlin's page. I don't know if his people did it or if he picked it up from others, but he can laugh at himself. I like that. Kyle Busch on the last lap. He's the watermelon. It's funny, but
damn. I remember now.
That's funny. That's actually pretty funny because that's who did the did he do the race called the driver start your engines? Did he do that or did he wave the flag? I don't know.
He did something. I remember that face.
Yeah, I wish they had pulled a prank on somebody. That would have been great.
Yeah,
he did the command. He did do the race command. I want to do the race command one day. All right, Denny Hamlin. Every time he races at Sonoma. Oh.
Man, that hurts. That hurts.
Sometimes I think picking on Denny Hamlin gets old.
Oh,
sometimes. Everyone on turn 11 at Sonoma.
Jay Berry
that's a decent one.
Jay Beasy.
Are you guys? I didn't. I kind of look forward to the bracket thing. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
You don't know anything about this one, Rocko. You don't like F1. You don't like F1.
Traditions. Oh, man.
Right. Jr. after running out of fuel.
What do you do? I don't get it.
Yeah, because it's F1. That's.
I'm not really down with that F1. You know.
Valtteri Bottas.
I'm a NASCAR guy.
We know. Average restart. Sonoma.
There was a lot of cautions. There was uncharacteristically so. Yes.
What's another track that has all those cautions? Is it Pocono?
Well, you're not supposed to have a lot there.
Well, no. That's not what So there was. What track is it where it's like the trucks and Xfinity had like so many cautions?
Talladega.
No, it was like I don't know, Kansas or something like that. Maybe it was last year, but I just remember it was getting a little rough for everybody. That was it. That's what I sent. Is it? Jesus Christ. I think Adam did that on purpose because that scared the crap out of me. I was like, I can't believe that's it. I thought I sent so many more.
No. Out of gas? How can I be out of gas?
Truex. Oh, poor guy.
Is that the last one? Wait, there might be more because I had a lot saved up.
He gone.
Yeah. I think that's what.
Denny Hamlin's blown up at the start-finish line.
Oh no!
What is the origin of that monkey? What is that from? Do you guys know?
I would assume Planet of the Apes.
You would think, right? I haven't never seen Planet of the Apes though.
That one left me a bit.
I think it is from Planet of the Apes. I think.
Damn.
Man, that's hard. That might be the best one yet.
There's one more, guys. I don't know, but that one wasn't very fair because he didn't pass the finish line. He didn't get to the finish line.
I don't know about that one.
He's such a vibe. That's how I am in most situations, just staring. But I don't mean to make a face like that. I just have RBF. I think the Lightning McQueen.
I know what that means now.
Resting B word face.
No. Out of gas? How can I be out of gas?
Yeah, we'll go, Martin.
That was
I'll go with that one.
Or I mean the mall cop. I don't even know if that was what the movie was from. But...
He didn't slide over the line, so that takes that one out.
Yeah.
In honor of Cars and Lightning McQueen being at Sonoma as well, I give it to that one.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. Usually Lightning McQueen shows up to California races, but obviously closer to LA since Hollywood is adjacent.
He was there. I took a picture with it.
Oh, he was at Sonoma.
Mm-hmm.
He talks to you, right? Or is that just the one that
No, it was
the one at Disneyland.
Car.
Yeah, I was like the one at Disneyland talks to you.
No, it wasn't that one.
Oh, but it's animated is all, right? I
Yeah.
think the one, but it's self-driving, right?
I don't know. I saw it parked. I didn't see it moving.
Oh, the one I'm gonna stop saying that. I'm not a Disney adult. I like going to amusement parks, but the one at Disneyland talks to you and he, moves around freely. It's actually pretty cool.
Nah, this wasn't moving around freely.
I pee freely.
Get out of here. You got a bunch of cornfields to pee in, so I'm not a Disney adult. That's a whole personality. I know some of them that have they have a annual pass and go all the time and got access to whatever the.
Hey, let me use that. Let me use that for the Olympic break when the 2 weeks off. I need somewhere to go. I still haven't planned my vacation. Where y'all going?
Actually, it would be fun because they've got the what do you call it? The Star Wars thing now. The whole Galaxy's Edge. It's actually pretty fun.
Either, Rock.
I got to talk to Chewbacca a couple years ago.
We got to get on that, man. This 2 weeks will be upon us sooner.
It's almost like the F1 break where they shut everything down, man. We got
to do something.
Have you guys encountered this before?
No, this is the first time this has happened.
Yeah.
So I guess big vacations for everybody.
First time in my 20 years.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it shut down like that.
Wow. Since COVID.
Man, I was miserable just to, I don't know, during COVID. Like, that was the year that I was like ready to go and shadow people and kickstart, a career. And then everything just got cut off. And I even remember being so pathetic that I was just really trying so hard to get into the iRacing broadcasts. And I just...
Hey, before I forget, shout out to our new followers. We got like 2-3 new subscribers this week. Shout out to them 3.
I do see people popping up on...
And if you're in the garage and you heard us, let me know. If you're in the garage and you listen to us, let us know.
Leave comments too. I want to be... I rarely go and look at comments because I'm terrified of like the scary mean people of the internet.
We're just 3 broskies talking about racing.
What? Wait, 2?
You the bro? They call girls bros now. Hey, I hear it. All they be like, hey, bro, bruh. The girls do it to the boys. The boys do it to the girl.
Bruh.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bro. My son, my daughter calls each other bros and bras,
That's all I have not caught on to whatever. Yeah, so that whole generation.
My son will say, hey, bro, to his sister.
That whole generation is going through like a brain rot phase. Have you guys heard of that?
Crazy.
Brain rot.
Yeah.
Where like they're using, the one that gets me is Riz. Somebody at my job, my other job. I'm reminded about how old I am when I'm talking to these people. And one of them came up to me and they're like, Crystal, do you know what Riz means? I was like, I spend enough time on the internet to know, but it'll never, ever be a part of my vocabulary. Sorry. All right. So if you are out there and you're watching, we'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and give me that crazy feedback for my alpha jokes that they make me tell. I'm blinking twice because I need help.
If you're at the racetrack, come see us.
Yeah. Go say hi, take pictures. Yep. Follow, like, subscribe. Rocko, you know how to do this.
Click that like, hit that subscribe, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, all of it.
All of it.
It's Kaown. You guys know that kid?
Oh, what time is it?
It's late. It's late. Does that just get louder?